God is moving. It's Young People Nation.
Welcome to Young People Nation. Listen to us weekly as we commit to bring transparency, healing, and truth to the everyday situations in life that might bring you down. Join us for your weekly dose of inspiration. Thank you for listening to Young People Nation. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. And now, here's your host, Eugene and Donna Perry.
Let's go. Christ is the foundation. Know his word gon' lead us. Know I'm already going. Taking steps I believe in. Giving guidance to the youth. Giving guidance to the lost. Give the world to the project. Lead them back to the cross.
Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to Young People Nation. Whenever you're listening, thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing. We just appreciate you giving your time to this platform. We also would like to thank our sponsors and our supporters of this Young People Nation movement. We've been doing it for over a year, and so God has graced us to be able to do this and to bring awareness to the community. So we are very, very grateful. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, God.
Okay, so we have been blessed to have Mr. Raymond Weber. This gentleman, he's very effective in the community, and he found it not robbery to spend this time with us. He is the owner and operator of More Than a Game fitness and wellness facility, former NFL wide receiver, owner and operator of TRU Security. So if you need security, TRU Security.
You're in good hands.
Yes. And he's a huge developer in the community with young men and men. And mostly he's a lover of God, and he's a dedicated father of 3 young ladies. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
This definitely will not be the last time.
Oh, no.
So in this session, we've talked about young Raymond from St. Louis, moving forward Raymond, and the added mental challenges and anger and depression and what you dealt with losing not just your best friend, but your brother in 2016. So now in 2023, let's talk about the healing journey of Mr. Raymond Weber. How God used being by the water brings healing to you. We talked about that a little bit. No, we talked about it a lot. You brought out a lot in that. Let's talk about that a little more in this session.
Yeah. So again, at one point in time, I lost the two of the most important people to me in my life. Right, my best friend and my wife. Right. So I was without one I could never talk to again. The other one, our relationship would never be the same. It's like you lose a person and they still living. That's almost as hard as losing a person.
Right. That's what they say.
Yeah, because it's hard. You want to reconcile, but you can't. So that was that. But I found myself going to the water, like jet skiing, and Jet Ski Augusta was instrumental in helping me, through that time. I don't think he knew it because it was during COVID. He wanted to find people to come support his business. He started, but and he knows that. Shout out to Tess Walker. He knows that. I use water for therapy, so he would invite me out there to ride jet skis, and I'm on the Savannah River.
That's wonderful.
And I'll sit there, and sometimes I'll be sitting on the back of a jet ski, and I'll just get trans. I'll be looking at the water like dang, this is so common, but again, it's so powerful. And that's how I try to be now. Still be powerful in stature, but I always remain calm. You don't have to show that you're strong until it's like the person realizes it's too late. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of those things. The water is, it's just so calm. That calm current is really what take you under. That's why the lake, it kills more people than the ocean. Because that lake
that's
water.
That's a great analogy.
It is. That lake water is real still, and you don't know how strong that lake water is, but it's dense. And that ocean, that ocean got so much salt in it, so much buoyancy that you flow back up. You can survive in the ocean as long as you're on the hill of water. It's gonna bring you back up. That's why it's easier to float. But that lake is so powerful. You know what I'm saying? So that lake is so powerful. It's so calm unless somebody come disturb it. It don't create its own currents and ripples.
Hidden agendas.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. So.
One of our daughters, that's her therapy too. One of several things that helps her. She likes to go to the Savannah and just be by the water.
Yep.
That works.
Waterfalls, everything. I was in Jamaica, and me and my girlfriend went to Jamaica in June. and they had like these big falls, and the water was so
Right.
I was in heaven. Oh my God, I was jumping in the water, and the water was cold, but they had these beautiful waterfalls, and I mean it was one of the most beautiful things I ever seen, and it was just so calming, and I thank her for she let me sit, by the water and think about, what I want to think about. Like she allowed me to have my moments with the water because she understands that I got a love for water.
And that's a beautiful thing when you come to understand a person. Like I had to understand my husband's mental health journey, and not to take it personal, and give him that space. Whatever I'm thinking that he's looking at TV, but he told me one time, he said, no, my mind is just relaxing. And so I've learned, and I tell women that's married, you're always going to be a student.
Yeah.
We're almost 40 years in. And so, but I'm still a student of him because he's forever changing.
Yeah, she constantly hands on me.
Good hands, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay. So, talk about creating a safe space for men to talk and be transparent, because often we as women, I noticed with us in therapy, I was ready, but the therapist had to figure out a way to pull him in.
Yeah. So again, like I told you, AA, the MVP meetings, like all of that showed me that it was a real need. And so me and the fellas, we would be down there working out. And, as you working out, you casually talk. Like, you have a conversation. And sometimes we stop the workout because the conversations get deep. And you're like, oh, man, brother's really going through. And there's a lot of commonness in there. And we sitting there like, dang, okay. And come with the idea, I talked to one of my best friends now, Carl. And Carl reminds me a lot of JB, reminds me a lot of my brother. And I was like, bro, we should start a men's group. He's like, all right, I'm down. And so Saturday mornings, earlier this year, we had started a men's group where, we invited anybody who needed somewhere to talk. And
that's beautiful.
Yeah, people came in, and I tell them, the word is anonymity, and I learned it in AA to where people should be able to come in, say what they want to say, and not have to worry about hearing about it in the street. It shouldn't be thrown back in you. So we make sure that we don't talk about nobody's business. But guys come in there and depression and anxiety, it doesn't have a look, right? You think like, oh, I can see it on this person, like they walk around with it on their forehead, but they don't. It can be, the most successful looking people to, people who look like they walking around with flies on them. Those people, everybody come down, sit down, and they got that same thing, that traveler on their back, that shadow that's cast above them. And when they get to talking, it could be anything from what's going on in their household, trying to connect with their kids, trouble on the job, relationships, all of this stuff. And we gave them an outlet to sit down and talk. And we lead that thing. We'll say it's from 8 to 9, 8 to 10, and we'll be in that thing 11, 12 o'clock. And we just constantly just talking. But I felt like if we can get the older generation together and on the same pages, we need outlet to talk to, that when it comes time to go and reach the kids, that we'll come full equipped. We'll look like the Avengers. We'll be healed, so we can go help them heal.
That's awesome.
Because broken adults can't heal broken kids.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's just a bunch of pieces trying to figure out where they match to.
Yes.
And nobody gonna fit in. So we wanna make sure that the men in the community are healed, and prepared to go out, and we can come up with a common agenda on how we can go save the kids, because they got to see us talking. And then they be like, you know what? I need somebody to talk to. We can invite them in, and we can create a bridge. And even though it doesn't have to be a bridge, it could be a branch to where, they slowly climbing across it like some ants. And once they get to the tree, then we instill some fullness to them. But yeah, we got to create a branch or a bridge, to the youth. So we got to be healed before we can do that.
And here, this older men, they need you to be transparent in order for them to be transparent, and then you reach the next generation. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, you got to, because it start with us. Like like Mr. Perry is people I look up to. He's that generation I look up to, and then the younger kids are gonna be the generation that look up to me.
Yes.
So I got to see him healed, and then I got to heal. Get healed, and then they can see it. So we starting at the top of the ladder, and working our way down.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So sometimes you can repair that one, repair that one, and and then the ladder be full. It ain't always got to be going up, up and down. So we want to make sure that we cover on all dynamics, that the strongest and the pillars in the community are whole and put together, and then they can go and help everybody else.
You know, one of the important things about what you were saying is this right here. You know, it's not like church counseling and you go there and all, and then you preach about on Sunday, and you have a secret, and it stays a secret.
Yeah,
your weakness become a strength.
I always encourage my husband because everywhere we've ever traveled, he always draw young men that the father wasn't there or he was there, but that's I mean we've traveled all over the world.
Yeah.
And he has sons in Germany, Texas, got a couple of them here.
Yeah.
And they are really drawn to him. And one of them in particular shared, he said that I used to watch him at work, and he was always consistent. Always consistent. He didn't get mixed up in what was going on in the flow. And so that spoke of his character.
Right.
And so this is really needful, folks, of our men having a place to speak. And me as a woman, I count it as an honor when my husband opens up to me, and that he is able to be transparent. Because one thing about if we have your heart, that's major.
Oh yeah,
that's outside of any jewelry house, anything. But if you got that man's heart, that means he can trust you with that innermost stuff.
Yeah, and I would say this: having daddy issues don't always mean the dad was absent in the house. It just means he wasn't present.
Right.
So what I mean by that is the body can be there, but the presence isn't felt.
Yes.
And so you can have a 2-family household. You can have a dad that wasn't that wasn't in the picture at all. But that relationship, that need that kids, that young men have for a father figure, because some dads don't know how to connect with their kids. Like I see it all the time with training, where they trying to live through their kids, and the only thing they got in common is their kids' athletic attributes.
Wow.
What happens when their kids stop playing ball? You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where like you and your kid not gonna have nothing in common when he's 30, 40, retired. You know, all you're gonna be able to do is reflect. You know, when you was in high school, or so it's a lot of people that gotta, you know. That's why young men like myself used to seek relationships with older guys as far as like mentorship. Like, hey, you know, because we need somebody to talk to, because sometimes you can't talk to your father. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't know how to communicate with him because he's such we put our dads on the podium, right? So we look at him in a hierarchy like, oh, you know, I can't connect with him, or he won't understand. And so that's a daddy issue in itself. So as adults, as men, we got to humble ourselves to come down to be able to speak our kids' language. You know,
Yes.
that we got to be able to connect with them and understand. Like, hey, listen, I'm your father, so it's some stuff that you say to me that I'm gonna correct, right? I'm gonna have to give you a lecture on it, but I still want you to understand. I'm gonna let you talk though, because I want to see your point of view. As soon as you tell me, I'm not gonna judge you. I'm not gonna come condemn you for what you say, and stuff like that. But I'm gonna give you correction because I got to, and because I feel like I'm equipped with the knowledge to guide you on the ways, and anything you do, make sure you do it with integrity. Like, I'm so blessed that me and my 16-year-old daughter, she turned 16 in November, we can have conversations, and she can be transparent, and she's receptive to understanding. Like, I understand, like I hear everything you saying, but I'm also instilling you what's the correct way, and we're not gonna fight about it. Like, I'm not gonna judge you. I'm not gonna tell you, you know, oh, this, that, and the third. Like, I'm not gonna point my finger at your face and be like, but I'm gonna make sure that you understand, like, hey, this lacked integrity, or you were wrong, or I get with your perspective, but this is, you know, none of this would have happened if you wouldn't have did this in the first place. So I still try to communicate with her. I'm open, even if it's stuff I don't want to hear, because, you know, my daughter, about 16, you want to talk to me, like, and she used to be so afraid to even date, because I used to say, no, boys, daddy don't play that, like everybody understand that, but I realized that they in high school. She gonna do, you know, what she
talk
gonna do.
about it.
So at least like, and I'm not, certain stuff, you know, I'm not gonna condone, support, but I want you to feel comfortable to talk to me about everything, and just come to me, and so we can have that relationship where we gonna talk not as friends, but as somebody that's a sounding ear. So you can release whatever it is, and I'm gonna give you great guidance, and I'm not gonna be biased when I talk to you either. Like, I'm gonna give you the real. You know, even though I'm bad, I'm gonna still give you the real. So.
Yeah, that's such an important factor. Cause I know many fathers get out there and they, like mine been speaking for me for 3 months. I mean, and it was no back and forth communication. It's what I say, you do, and that's it.
Yeah.
And without no kind of guidance whatsoever, until something go wrong. And many households are like that. You got to acknowledge that you do have kids in the house.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And again, this journey that we've been on, being married to him, I got to see some things as to why he was like he was. I remember him sharing with me, he said, "You'll never see me as angry as I can get."
Yeah.
He said, "Because I don't like that Eugene. I don't like him at all." And first I was like, it can get deeper than what Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so he was very transparent about that. And so for me, walking close with him and being present, because that's important in relationships, is to be very present. There's triggers, I know, with him.
Yeah.
So don't do it.
Yeah.
So what would you tell the young Raymond?
Ooh. Be patient, be kind. Just stay calm. Like I got a tattoo on my shoulder that says "calm down," and I got another that says "Hakuna Matata." So you got to take breath. Yeah. you got to stop taking everything so serious and so personal. You know.
Yes.
And I mean, just continue to work hard. I would change some of the decisions I made because, you know, the outcome would have been different. But honestly, I was just telling him, you know, talk, like have conversations, because I was so shut up for so long. Like I could be talking for hours and the conversation have no meaning, you know, because it's a distraction about what I really want to talk about.
Okay.
So, so I just tell my younger self, you know, be patient with yourself, work hard, stay firm believer, and take everything for face value, you know, like what it is, like, and don't internalize it. Like, if you're gonna lose people on this journey, you know, you're gonna meet people on the journey, and let them be who they are. Let them handle their part in your life.
Yes.
And then if they no longer serve you or whatever, be okay with releasing that.
Yes. Okay. Well, I wanted to ask you one more thing. We just want to encourage you to continue doing what you're doing in the community, because it's obvious that it helps a lot of people. For me to mention your name at a meeting with SRP and the guy, the branch manager, oh yeah, he trained my son in football. That speaks volume.
Oh yeah.
And so
the
just
trust.
please keep going, and we definitely support whatever movement you got going. If we need security, we're gonna call TRU security.
Yes, ma'am. They respect us, true.
So, because we do know you're a great man of integrity, and I used to watch you with your daughters and how engaging you are as a father. So, hats off to you and kudos to you for staying in there, being that very present father.
Yes, ma'am.
Because those young ladies, they will remember. They will, because my daughters come back to my husband and say, you know, Daddy, we just appreciate you and all that. They said they didn't understand certain things, but they understand it now.
Yeah.
So, what wisdom would you leave with the audience with concerning mental health?
Be kind to yourself. Understand that you know, something has happened or something's going on internally that's triggering this. So don't beat yourself up on it, and don't give up. You're a necessity out here. So anybody who's listening, you're needed in the community, in the world. You got a purpose, just find it. But get somebody to talk to. Find you your group, you know? Like, I don't care if it's people online, if you got to go to a group chat or whatever, release it. Don't internalize what you're going through. Don't carry that baggage and that load. Put it out in the world and then let it go where it's supposed to go. If it comes back to you, it's going to come back differently, and then you handle it accordingly. But don't walk around and carry any of that trauma, anything that's going on in your life. Just kind of, you know, give it to God and leave it where it's at. You know?
Yes.
Don't take it with you. But I also want to thank you guys for what you guys are doing. This is an amazing platform. I'm always appreciative of you guys as a married couple and a Christian couple. Like, I just love watching y'all walk, and I love watching y'all how y'all engage with each other. It's beautiful. 40 years, and y'all still can laugh and make each other smile. That is phenomenal. I love the inspiration and the motivation you guys give, and example that you give guys like me who I mean, not often have I seen like, you know, truly happy married couples and see marriage work. So I'm appreciative and grateful for you two for being that example, and for this platform that you are providing people like me and people who need to hear stories like mine and stories like Mr. Perry's and stories of all your guests, because you might not know y'all voice coming on every Saturday morning might be saving somebody's life. So thank
Amen.
you.
Amen.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Yes,
he
ma'am.
still make me smile. Yeah, so that's major. And I make him smile.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Mr. Weber. Thank
ma'am.
you, Raymond L. Weber. Remember, if your children need training, more than a game, facility is your place. And also, if you need security, TRU Security.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so we like to always give out our mental health hotlines at the end of every session. And again, thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to our supporters. We're very grateful for you. There is the 988 hotline. That's a text 741 to 741. That's free 24/7 service. That's the NAMI, National Alliance on Mental Illness. You can go to their website and reach out by the state you live in. And if nothing else and you don't understand anything or you don't remember anything else, 211, that's a general community resource 24/7. And remember that September is National Suicide Prevention Month. Let's always be kind 365. Okay? Mr. Perry.
Remember, when you go through life, remember everyone has a pet peeve. Like myself, don't mess with my wife and don't mess with my Doritos.
And don't mess with Peyton and the
right.
girls.
That's right. And remember, live the life that you want to live and don't just exist. This is the Young People Nation, and remember, there's always hope.
Christ is the foundation. Know his word gon' lead us. Know I'm already going. Taking steps I believe in. Giving guidance to the youth. Giving guidance to the lost. Give the world to the project. Lead them back to the cross. He the #1 prospect. He the top boss. I was broke, I was empty. He the one that paid the cost. Really thought that I was cool. There was nothing like the Savior. Now it's time for the truth. The whole world been waiting. It's Young People Nation. 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 The whole world been waiting. Whatever you going through, I know what he gonna do. Don't matter the circumstance, we going back to the root. Keep going. Let that seed keep growing. You need peace and we know it. Now it's time to live holy. Young People Nation. You know what time it is. Young People Nation. Get ready, the time is here. Get ready, we vibing here. We about to let God in here. Young People Nation. It's Young People Nation. Yeah, do it for the heavens, you know where we going. Influenced by his love, you know we gotta show it. It's time to put the youth on to what God is doing. Cause I can tell you now, right now, that God is moving. It's Young People Nation.